Daytona's been everything in the world to me for such a long time. It's a race that I enjoy going to. It's a race that I should have won many times but didn't. And I remember leaving here at the end of the year after the Daytona 500's been over many times, saying to myself, well, there's always next year. I'll get a better car, and I'm going to change this, and I'm going to do that. But I can't do that any longer. I got one shot to get it right this time, and that's the reason we worked so hard to get to the point. I do it. Sometimes I wondered at myself, but I just feel like it's time. In my gut, I feel like it's time to pay more attention to my family. My son Steven's coming up. He needs a lot of guidance right now with his racing program. And I don't enjoy being at the racetrack 36 races a year. I love racing, but I don't like it totally 100% consuming my life, living in the infield in buses and traveling 24/7. If this thing was 30 races, I'd still be driving.
The year that you flipped, I'm thinking of Talladega, where you went over and over after Dale hit you. You finished second. You finished second to him in points that year. Am I right?
Yeah, but let me remind you another thing. That was 1993, okay?
93.
You know how many races I won in 93?
11 years ago.
I
You
won
had a
10.
great year.
I won 10 races that year.
So now, years later, did that take something out of you?
No, it doesn't take nothing out. It makes you a lot smarter. It makes you look at your safety equipment inside the car a lot more. It makes you just quit taking things for granted. And I've had some bad accidents that year. 2 wrecks here in Daytona, end over end in 93. And then again at Talladega with Earnhardt, and went on to win 10 races that year. So, hey, you had to, I learned a lot.
What happened to Dale didn't affect my thinking at all. One thing that was in my mind is how bad I felt for him, because he was ready to quit. He had another year left in him for sure, or 2 maybe. And man, he had his life in order, had all this money where he wanted to be. He built a beautiful DEI. Him and his wife are doing great. The teams are looking good. His son's running winter races. And he was ready to get the big old cigar out and lean back a little bit. But he never had the shot to do that. So I'm thinking, you know what? I want the shot to do that. Racing doesn't scare me at all. But I want to go out and top my game, and I want to be respected a ton with my peers, and I want to do whatever it takes. I want to be remembered as a fierce competitor, a guy that's won 55 races up to date, a guy that won a lot of poles, a guy that helped NASCAR be built, and one of the leaders of the sport amongst their peers. And I'd be happy to. There's a lot of guys I can say that same thing about that I race against, but above all, I want to be very respected.